You're listening to Northwoods Church Matters, a podcast of Northwoods Church in Evansville, Indiana, where we discuss why the local church matters and things that matter to the local church. I'm your host, Matt Higgins. Hey, welcome back to the Northwoods Church Matters podcast. My name is Matt. I'm the worship and counseling pastor here at Northwoods and the host of Northwoods Church Matters podcast. And I'm here with some great guests this morning. We got Ryan Moore, our missions pastor. And we also have church planner Steven and Mandy Love as our special guest this morning. We're going through all of our different church planners we support, and we are really excited to have them here. We've had an excellent conversation before we even got started, so I'm excited to get some stuff on tape and for you guys to get to know these guys as well. Ryan, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, Steven, Mandy, really thankful that you guys are doing this with us this weekend. We've invited all of our church planting partners to come to Evansville, and somehow we convinced all of y'all to say yes on the same weekend to come down and be with us.
It's a miracle.
So, Sunday's not a small ask for pastors to miss. But somehow we got everybody to say yes to this. And so we're thankful that you're with us and your families were able to come with us, brought kids along. And so I guess that's a good place for us to start. Why don't y'all tell us a little bit about your family? Who'd y'all bring with you this weekend?
Well, first of all, let me just say it is an honor to be here. We feel very cared and loved, and it's our privilege to be here. So thank you for having us. But yeah, we brought along our 4 kiddos. We have Stephen Jr., he is 11. We have Elias, he is 10. Our only girl, Jade Ruth, our baby girl, she is, how old is she? 9. She just turned 9. We've had lots of birthdays this summer. And then our youngest is Simeon, and he will be 7 in a month.
I'm not going to hold it against you that you said Stephen Jr. is 11.
Oh, is he 12? I can't. Listen.
Here,
for all of our listeners here.
I'm glad we got
this
the counseling
is my
pastor
baby.
here.
I just have not fully accepted this, that he's 1 year closer to 13. Oh, goodness.
That's hard. It hurts.
It is.
It hurts. So last night we had a ton of fun, and one of the things we did was we went around the room and we were introducing ourselves to everybody. And so I'm just trying to help Mandy out this morning. That's all I'm trying to do, make her feel better. Well, one of the things that a lot of the pastors did was they told about their family who they brought with them. That wasn't the case with Stephen last night.
Nope, it
right?
wasn't.
Let it be known.
Completely forgot not just the age of a kid.
Thank you.
But just forgot about the kids in general.
They were at a different table. I mean,
out of sight, out of mind.
They might as well be on a different planet.
That's right.
Lord help us.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. So, yeah, very good. We're really glad y'all are here with us.
It's good to be here.
Why don't y'all tell us, how did you come to faith in Christ, each of you?
So I grew up in a PK household, pastor's kid. My dad started preaching when he was 14 or 15 years old. And then he planted his first church when he was around 21, 22 years old. And so I grew up in that household. So there was never really a time in which I doubted the lordship of Jesus Christ, that he was the only way. However, I was still a pastor's kid. And so we tend to have those seasons of rebellion, is a good way to put it. And I had my own season of that where the faith just wasn't my own. And one of my dad's mentors came and did a conference for our church, and he was preaching on the lukewarm church in Revelation. And I felt like in that moment, he was looking right at me. You're neither hot nor cold, and I'm going to spew you out of my mouth. And I was like, does this brother know me like that? And so when I get to glory, I'm going to ask the Lord, was that the moment of regeneration, or was it before? Was it a callback? I don't know, but I think at that point, the faith became my own. And all the years of growing up in a Christian household, it was like the Lord brought that all back in that season. And ever since then, the Lord has been drawing me closer to himself. And so that's how I came to faith in Jesus Christ.
How old were you when that moment
So I
happened?
was going into my sophomore year in high school at that point. And I began to really see some fruit in that season. But yeah, I was in high school, and yeah, it was a sweet time.
So good.
You pastors' kids get a bad reputation.
I know we do.
Yeah.
Some of it's warranted, but most of
Some
it.
is warranted. That is right. That is right.
Mandy?
I grew up in a Christian home, but unlike Stephen, I grew up in a broken home. My parents were divorced when I was younger, and my mom has struggled with a lot of mental health issues, and so home wasn't very stable, and it wasn't a very good picture, I would say. But I did grow up knowing of the things of faith. And so I remember asking Jesus into my heart, I think every day, just out of fear that I wasn't going to go to heaven. But it was not until I grew up in the Chicagoland area, but I went to school at the University of Kansas. Go Jayhawks, if there's any of you out there. But
No.
I don't know if any-
She's the one.
That's the only one. Yeah.
I'm okay being the one. I'm okay being the one. But it was my freshman year, and I got a random knock on the door of my dorm room inviting me to this conference. And the only reason I went was because it was in Colorado, and I love the mountains, and I had never been. So I found myself at the Denver Christmas Conference with Campus Crusade for Christ, surrounded by thousands of college students that love Jesus. And they preached the gospel from the stage. And it was the first time that I saw my sin for what it was and my need. And I remember being on the bathroom floor of the hotel room, just crying out like, Lord, please save me. And so at that moment, it was a big turning point in my life. And then I started walking with the Lord, thank goodness, my first year in college. And so it's been a journey since then.
Oh, that's great. Praise the Lord for his work in y'all's lives.
Yes.
So that's really good. How did you two meet?
This is the question.
And who tells the story?
We
And
both
who
have
corrects?
a little bit different version of this story.
I don't know about that.
When the Lord separates truth from falsehood and sheep from goats, he's going to tell me I was really right. In my version of this story.
We'll see. Go ahead, Ben.
But so I was born in South Bend, where I currently pastor, but we moved to the northern suburbs of Chicago when I was in elementary school. In 6th grade, everyone's first job in the area was working at a retirement home as servers, waiters, and waitresses.
Yeah.
And so we can work there with a worker's permit. And so we went to a larger junior high school. And so I didn't know Mandy from school, but we worked together at this retirement home. 6th grade. And I
was
saw
also
her.
older than you.
She was a year older than me. But, what's age? What's
Right,
age? Age
right,
ain't number to know.
Yeah.
And so we were working there. And I said, oh, this girl, she's great. She fine. She fine.
Goodness.
And so I couldn't date. I'm a pastor's kid. I couldn't date. I couldn't even say the word date.
That's right.
But I figured I'll shoot my shot with Mandy. And so I asked her out in 6th grade.
Yes, he did. He asked me out. And for all those listeners here, that is not the beginning of our love story because I said no.
Turn me down.
Yeah. And that really was the start and the end to some consistency in what we knew of each other. So that happened pretty early on. But we continued to go to the same school, but a different grade. And I knew of him as the pastor's kid because he was involved with other people that I knew. And I just knew that he was this weird Christian is what I knew of him, which is funny because when I came to know the Lord, I graduated with 1,000 people and I couldn't think of anybody who loved Jesus except for Steven Love. And so after I came to know the Lord, it was a couple years in college, I reached out to him because he was at Moody Bible Institute. And I walked through a time of just thinking through if I needed to go to a Christian school or not. I ended up staying at the University of Kansas, but we got reconnected that way. And so we remained friends for all through college.
All through college.
Yeah, just
See?
friends.
See, Madden Ryan, it's the long game.
It's a long game.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
That's
and
right.
she didn't know Jesus, so she had scales over her eyes. And when she came to meet Jesus, he revealed a lot of things to her.
Right.
And revealed her husband, So.
Joke's on you.
But then post-college, I was working at a church as a youth director. And
I was in seminary in Florida. Yep. And it sparked a lot of conversations between us. And so she was one of the first women ever on staff full-time at this church as youth director. And I was in seminary. And so we would have conversations daily, literally daily, about all things theology and women in ministry and what does that look like. And so all these theological conversations. And at this point, not only was she fine, but now she had a mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, my goodness, Lord, this is it. So this isn't one of my best moments, but Facebook was really a thing. It was just coming. It was starting to become a thing. And Facebook Messenger just hit the scene. And so we would send random theological quotes to one another and say, can you figure out who said this theological quote? That was a game we played. Well,
fun game.
I figured I'll take it to the next level and confess my love to her via Facebook Messenger. I did. It wasn't a bright spot, but the Lord works all things together for good.
We are sitting here with 4 kids.
That's right.
So it worked.
It worked.
It worked. Yeah.
It worked.
Pragmatic. It worked. So yeah, that's a little bit of our story over many years. We've seen each other in most seasons of our life. And so it's good to be sitting here.
Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right. That's right, brother.
Oh, there we go.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So you guys, you're busy, right? You're planting. Have you constituted, or are you still considered a church plant? You've constituted.
Yeah, we're constituted. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're busy with Redemption City. You're busy with kids. Do y'all ever have time to do anything fun? What does fun look like for y'all?
We're very thankful for some good wisdom we received before we church planted in protecting certain times. And so every Friday is our family day, and it starts on Thursday night where we watch a movie. It is very consistent as long as we're in town. And so for fun, we watch movies together as a family. We spend time together as a family. We go on bike rides. We walk. We go to different festivals. We have a good time as a family. And so
board games. We love games as a family. My kids are very competitive. And
very.
So, once they get a hold of a game, pickleball. Again, Thursday night to Friday has been really just a grace for us over the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. And the Lord has allowed us to protect that time. Yeah. And so we do a lot of good stuff on that.
Do your kids have a favorite movie right now?
They were really into Avengers and Marvel World, all that thing. So we watched them chronologically. We spent a season doing that. I don't know if they have a go-to. Do they have a go-to? They just like movies.
They just like ones they have not seen.
They get really mad when we try to rewatch. Even though we did just rewatch Remember the Titans.
Yes, they do love that one.
Should rewatch that one.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. We are in a fun season of life because our individual passions and loves have now become some of our children's loves. So I love mountain biking. I got really into mountain biking trails when I was in college, and then moved back to Illinois, where you're not even allowed to have mountain bike trails in Illinois. It's kind of a crazy thing. And so now we're in Indiana, and I'm not having a child. I'm not in childbearing season anymore, and I actually go mountain biking with my 2 older sons, and they can hang, and it's been really fun. And so that's a really fun season. And then for you,
for me, it's golf. All of my kids, for the most part, have ventured into the world of golf.
Wow.
And so this past summer that I'm currently in, we golfed a lot, because now it's not just me leaving the family.
It's quality family.
It's discipleship, brother. It's, it's raising them up in the fear and admonition.
Oh, yeah.
And so we go out there, we'll walk the course. All of our kids did a program called First Tee, which teaches them the basics of the game and all that kind of stuff. And so we did a lot of golf this summer. So it's kind of fun to see our joy and passions, and they're taking it on. It's great.
You'll have to hook up with our church planner, Peter Kerrigan from Ireland. He loves golf, too. So you want to go golf in Ireland sometime.
I absolutely do.
Yeah.
100%. Peter, if you're listening, brother,
he's here this weekend.
Yeah, he's here this weekend.
Hear my prayer. Hear my prayer.
You'll connect with him this weekend at some point. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So one of the more fun questions that we've been asking folks is, if you do have a bucket list, what's on your bucket list?
I'll definitely go first.
Go ahead, babe.
2 things right now top my bucket list. One of them has to do with golf. So again, Peter, if you're listening. But one, Mandy knows I love history. That's part of my master's program. And I want to go to Rome. I just want to go to Rome, experience the history, walk the paths. That's top of the bucket list. But second under that is going to the old course, St. Andrews in Scotland, the original golf course, and playing there is a bucket list item.
Rome lives up to the hype.
Does it?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's great. You'll love it. It's great.
You're taking me.
He said he's spoken into existence. He said you'll love it, not you might.
It's amazing.
It's happening.
That is true.
You need multiple days, too.
Is that right?
It's really.
2 weeks? 3 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 weeks of eating, and then you'll come home changed.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I
love that. I do have a couple. I was thinking about this question. It's a fun question. We did something earlier this year that I didn't know should have been on my bucket list. So I'm saying this for the listeners, because if it's not on your bucket list, it should be. I didn't even know it was, but we went to Alaska and we went dog sledding, and we did that. And I'm like, I didn't even know it was a dream of mine to go to Alaska, and here we are. But that was fun. But
what part of Alaska did you go to?
Yeah, we flew into Anchorage, and then we explored a little bit north.
Yeah, close to Fairbanks, and we went down south and Seward area, and just everywhere. It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful place, and it's like it just seemed seemingly untouched.
Yeah,
and so it was amazing. Yeah. It was amazing.
We're speakers for Weekend to Remember with Family Life, and so we were assigned there.
Hardship for the Lord.
Yes,
somebody has to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
Goodness.
Right.
Send me, Lord. But no, I think one of my bucket list items, I love to ski, and I would love to ski the Swiss Alps, definitely. And then another one, skiing, and my love for motorcycles come from my dad, and I grew up on the back of my dad's Harley Davidson, and it's just a love of mine. Well, he passed away unexpectedly about, gosh, now it's 7 years.
No, because
6 years.
6 years. 6 years ago, yeah.
6 years ago. And so when that happened, I was like, oh my goodness, I was talking to Steve, and I was like, babe, you're going to have to learn to ride. Like, and he looked at me, he said, you just learn. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So my bucket list is to own a Harley, and I would actually love to travel cross country and go hiking with my Harley. And so
That'd be awesome. Riding your Harley with your man strapped to your back.
I'm secure and how the Lord made me. I don't mind riding on the back of Mandy's Harley. I'm good. I can do it.
I don't know. I think I just want a
I want a
one-seater, so
picture.
you're going to have to ride next to me, okay? Get your
The
own,
sidecar.
babe.
That's too far. The sidecar's too far.
No.
Yeah.
Your own bike. You need your own bike.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am trying to, I mean, one of the bucket list items is to do it as like a girls' trip. But it's hard for me to find some sisters who want to get their own Harley. So if any of y'all are out there, but my daughter, though. So
Yeah,
Perhaps.
work on her.
she's,
Yeah,
oh,
work
she's
on
there. She's
She's
there.
there, okay.
She's there.
Jade's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll
Very
get
good.
there.
Can you tell us a little bit about your church and why you love South Bend?
So I was born and raised in South Bend. All my family lives in South Bend, from South Bend. My grandparents moved up during the Great Migration, 30s, 40s, to South Bend. So I've been around South Bend my whole life. But it was one of those places that I always said I would never move back to. Once we moved away, I'm like, I'm never going back to South Bend.
Never tell the Lord never.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
See, and I knew
That's
that,
right.
but then I said it, and then look where we are. We're
Yeah.
in South Bend. A lot of providential moments in our season of prayer about what's next. I was working at my dad's church. My dad's a pastor up in the suburbs of Chicago. And Mandy and I were just praying about, Lord, what's next in our life? And the Lord just kept laying upon our heart, church planting, church planting, church planting. And long story short, but a guy my dad led to the Lord 35 years previously still lives in South Bend. He called and asked, will we be willing to move back to South Bend to help plant a church? And I was like, goodness, Lord, okay. We visited, and the Lord affirmed through multiple ways that this was where we were supposed to go. And so we moved back in 2019, and we had all the great plans, all the strategic moves of planting, vision, core group meetings. And then 2020 hits, and everything shut down. And so we couldn't meet with our group. We couldn't do anything. And so we just had to trust in the Lord. But He allowed for us to continue to move ahead. And in September, through many trials and toils, September of 2020, we opened our doors of Redemption City Church. And it has been a joy since then. The Lord has just, man, South Bend is an amazing place. And we just grow to love it every single year that we're there. But the people of South Bend is what make it home for us. And the people who have gathered, who are throwing in their hands to the plow, and what the Lord is doing in the neighborhoods in South Bend, we love it. And plus, South Bend is just really underrated. It's a great place to live. There's a lot of fun things to do. So every year with the family, we just love it more and more.
Tell us a little bit about Randall and Angel that we
Who's
just
Stop.
We got to go, folks. Yeah.
We love South Bend, and when the Lord made it really clear for us to move, and we got our house, and we invited some couple friends of ours that were just very dear to us over Christmas time just to come and spend the weekend with us. And we sat around the table at breakfast, and Steven prayerfully said, I want to share with them what we're doing and what this church, what the vision is. And he shared, and he invited every single one. He said, please come join us, come help us, come share the burden with us. Let's do this together for the glory of God. And Randall and Angel said yes. And it has been, we love them dearly. And it has been a joy to worship with them, to live life with them in the life of the church, but now to see them say yes to the calling of church planting and to be able to come alongside them has just been a joy beyond any.
Yeah, they weren't there long before we were like, the Lord has His hand on y'all for church planting.
Yeah.
And so they'll call it a bait and switch. I won't call it that.
No,
I'll just call it,
no.
God's sovereignty.
Yes.
But they weren't there long, and we're like, my goodness, like, the Lord is clear. And so the other elders affirmed it. And so we just began the process of praying. What does that look like for us? We're a church plant trying to plant another church. What does that look like for us? But again, the Lord, through many affirmations and signs, he just confirmed it for us. And so over the last couple years, we've been working with them, leadership development. And now, Lord willing, in 2025, they're going to be planting Mission City Church on the southeast side of South Bend.
What an encouragement it is that when God has called you to plant the church, both of you to go and you, Stephen, be the lead planter of a church, that when you ask people, the Lord is at work in their lives as well, that you're not doing this by yourself, right? But that you have people that are going to be coming alongside of you, supporting you, that you already have a relationship with them. And so you know them, you can trust them. There is a level of spiritual maturity about them that you can depend on them to help you in the trenches. What an encouragement it is to have folks like that you're not alone. You're not alone. So grateful for folks like that.
Who's more competitive, you or Angel?
100% me.
100%.
I win at competitiveness all the time. As a matter of fact, Mandy and Jess, sometimes seriously, she blames my children's competitiveness on me and my family, but Mandy is a competitive person too.
I have to survive in this marriage. Listen, you just gotta rise to the occasion, okay?
Everything can be a competition. How fast you tie your shoes. I did it faster. You know,
Oh,
everything
my
is a competition.
Yeah.
This is what it is. It makes life fun.
Listeners, pray for me, please.
Well, Steve and Mandy, thank you guys for spending some time with us today recording this. Thank you for spending the weekend with us. Thankful
Man.
for y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Northwoods Church Matters podcast. If you'd like to find out more about Northwoods Church, you can visit us at our website, www.northwoodschurch.org. Again, that's www.northwoodschurch.org.